All right, my name is Mac, and we're going to talk about what exactly to do the day before your race so that you can be well prepared, you can have a really great race day, and you can almost like have like mentally feel better so you don't have as much stress or anxiety the day before leading up to a race. I am feeling a little sick, a little under the weather, and I actually have this is my old sweatshirt that I got back in cross country. This is actually the worst race that I've ever had. It was nationals my last year in college running, and I actually ended up walking. It was terrible. We were supposed to do really well. I terrible race. And I actually wear this as a reminder that even like your greatest setback can become your greatest comeback because that following season I had my last track season. I did really well. I got seventh at nationals and the steeplechase and like 12th, I think, in the 5K. But anyways, just a reminder that like even your bad races can become really good ones. So we're going to talk about 5 things for your pre-race that you need to do the day before your actual race. So we're going to talk about food, hydration, mental prep, actual running stuff, and then what you need to do to prepare to have a really great race day. Okay, so food is like the only thing you should really be switching up is if you are carb loading. And that's going to be if you have a half marathon, marathon, or you have like a long trail race that you will be carb loading like almost 3 to 7 days out. Usually 3 is about the sweet spot for most people. And that's just getting a lot more carbs. So pasta, bread, all that stuff. But if you're running like a 10K, a 5K, you don't really need more carbs. Your body does run off of carbs. That's like its main fuel source for running. So you should just be getting like a good amount every single day, but it's not something that you need to like completely overdo. And just continue to eat normal food. So many people make the mistake of thinking that they have to have like this perfect breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and they like almost think you have to like make up for lost time or if you had like something go wrong in your training, and you just have to accept that your training is where it is. And like I have been running for like 18 years and I've never had a perfect running season. And I never got injured. I got injured like one and a half times. And that was once from like jumping over couch playing Nerf guns in middle school and like one small time in college where I have to miss one workout. And I still have never had a perfect running season. And I would consider that I've done pretty well. So just know that like you don't have to make up for lost time and you just need to do everything normal, because when you start to like venture out and like, oh, this is supposed to be really healthy for you, but if your body hasn't had that before, you don't know if your stomach's going to react poorly to it or if you're going to have some weird allergic reaction. Just stick to the things that you normally have been eating, and yes, of course, eat a little bit better, but it's not like you shouldn't be going out of your way to have all these new exotic foods or anything like that that you haven't done before. So just don't make the mistake of like trying to go above and beyond and like doing all these weird new things. Like you've the big prep is already done. You've already been done your training. Like these little things aren't going to make that big of a difference and almost can hurt you more than they can help you. Hydration, you should be drinking a little bit more water, a little more electrolytes for sure, but you don't need to like overdo it, right? You don't need to just because you don't need to drink like 12 water bottles. Yes, drink more, have more electrolytes, but it's not something that needs to be like way overdone, way overthought of. Like it's not going to make that huge of a difference. But yes, eat well, and drink well. The next thing is mental prep, and that honestly comes down to a lot of this one will tie into like actual race day prep too, but like knowing your course and like what your race strategy is going to be. So like oftentimes for like newer runners or most runners in general, it's like not going out too hard or too fast, especially if you're like half marathon, marathon. You don't want to go like the excitement is there, the energy is, you're gonna like naturally have like going out a little bit fast, but like just remember that you have the rest of the race to run, not just that beginning portion. So please don't forget that part. Um, so just like mentally preparing what your race strategy is. And I was the type of runner to like I just need like 1 or 2 things to hit. Like maybe that was a split halfway through the race. Maybe that was like a person that I needed to stick by, or like it, if you're trying to run like 7-minute miles, find that person like in the marathon, whatever that is. Um, but don't overthink it, and just make sure that like you have a race strategy that works for you. So if that's like diving more into splits, if that's diving into more looking at the course, the elevation, do that. But if you don't need that much, don't be afraid to just like have like 1 or 2 things that you know you're going to hit and then just go out there and go do it. So it kind of depends on the runner you are, and you'll kind of figure that out as you go. So that's like the mental prep of it. The actual running part is when you have your pre-race day. What I would recommend is whatever you have on your schedule. So that's going to be like, certain amount of miles, easy pace should be pretty low compared to what you've been doing. And then usually we recommend doing some strides after your run, and that's just to kind of like get your legs ready to go fast tomorrow. And usually you're going to put on like your racing shoes for that. So like if you have spikes, or if you have carbon plated shoes, or if you're going to have whatever type of shoe you're going to put on, do that and kind of get a couple good quick strides in so that you're prepared and ready to go fast tomorrow. And that's not something that should be hard or stressful, but it's just like a couple quick build-ups, 80 to 50 meters. You start slow, slowly build up into all-out sprint, and then kind of let it go after that. So that's the actual running part, stretch, do all that good stuff. But it's not something that like you have to go extremely slow to like save yourself. It's not something that you need to go fast to like prepare to go fast tomorrow. Just keep it easy, conversational, what you've been doing normally on your easy days. And then the actual race day prep, this is probably the bigger piece that has really helped like me mentally not be so stressed, is to like research where you need to park, how long is it going to take to get there, do you have your race bib, have you gotten that ahead of time? Usually I recommend like if you can get it beforehand, do that so that you know you have it, it's going to not going to take extra time to get it done. And so like all those little tiny details that you can prepare the day ahead of time, like laying out your race gear, your race jersey, the clothes you're going to change into after, like sweats for in the morning if it's going to be a little bit cold, water bottle, snacks for after, your race shoes, like have everything laid out, have everything ready to go, know what time you have to leave, know what time you have to wake up, where you need to park, is that going to take a long time, where the bathrooms are located. So anything that you can kind of do ahead of time to just mentally put your mind at ease so that you're not stressed the day before is going to be huge for you. So yeah, that's the 5 things that I think would recommend. So food, stick to normal food, carb load if you need to, hydration, you don't have to overdo it, but please make sure you are getting in some water and some electrolytes. Mental prep, have some sort of strategy going into it, whatever that is. If you need a more in-depth one, have that. If you don't, then don't. Actual running, keep it easy, keep it normal, practice doing a couple strides in your race shoes, and then actual race day, like look at everything, make sure you know where to go, when to get up. It's better to get there earlier than later, and know what you're going to do right before your race so that you're mentally prepared for that. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe. I'm going to put in lots more content out, and I'll see you in the next video.